Palantir has done it again. You'll be completely blown away and amazed by what this company is capable of and what this company is currently doing for our government, hospitals, and financial institutions. In this video, we are going to be covering some of the amazing and fascinating facts that most people are not aware of and why you need to be heavily invested in this company. In the second portion of this video, we're going to look at the basics of their fundamental financial statements. This is going to give us a reason why we need to be invested in this company. The third segment of this video, we're going to look at the charts and implement some proven successful strategies of entry points so we're not guessing on what the right price to buy is. I'm Scott. I've been trading and investing in the stock market for over 25 years. So let's dive in. In the shadow of 9/11, a group of Silicon Valley entrepreneurs set out to build something radical, a platform that could harness vast oceans of data to make sense of an increasingly complex world. Their vision to give institutions the power to see patterns invisible to the human eye. This was the beginning of Palantir Technologies. In the early days, founded in 2003 by PayPal co-founder Peter Thiel alongside Alex Karp, Stephen Cohen, Joe Lonsdale, and Nathan Gettings, Palantir sought to merge the precision of Silicon Valley engineering with the intelligence needs of government agencies. Inspired by PayPal's anti-fraud algorithms, the idea was to adapt these technologies to national security. Their flagship product, Palantir Gotham, would become a cornerstone of data-driven decisions used by U.S. intelligence and defense communities to track terrorists, detect threats, and safeguard national security. The expansion begins, but Palantir was not content with serving governments alone. As global markets and corporations faced their own oceans of data, Palantir expanded. Foundry, launched in 2016, the company offered enterprises the ability to integrate and analyze data at a massive scale, from oil rigs to hospitals, factories, airlines, banks, government agencies. Foundry became the nervous system for modern industry, powering supply chains, healthcare, and finance. With great power came great controversy and criticism. Palantir's deep ties to government surveillance, law enforcement, and military operations drew criticism from privacy advocates. Questions of ethics and accountability shadowed the company's meteoric rise. Of course, with great success comes controversy. The newspaper headlines, congressional hearings. For its critics, Palantir symbolized the risk of big data unchecked. For its supporters, it was a guardian of an unpredictable world. In September of 2020, after years of secrecy, Palantir made its public debut on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol PLTR. Since going public, Palantir has expanded globally. It has partnered with defense allies across Europe and Asia, becoming a key player in NATO operations. With the rise of artificial intelligence, Palantir has positioned itself at the frontier of AI-driven decision platforms, unveiling its artificial intelligence platform. Palantir's financial fundamentals were so incredible, they were added to the S&P 500 on September 23rd of 2024. Now in 2025, Palantir was awarded with a $10 billion decade-long contract with the United States Army, consolidating multiple service agreements. It has also secured a Maven Smart System contract for $1.3 billion. Also with a commercial footprint with clients like Merit, Ferrari, Hertz, United Airlines, Walgreens, just to list a few. We are currently at the beginning of the next technological boom. So jump on board and let's ride this Palantir train into the future of technology. Now let's take a look at the brief financial structure of the company. This is the reason why you want to be involved in this company. Fundamental analysis. You want to look at the numbers of the company. You want to check out the last year or two to see what kind of growth they've had and their projections going forward. And you want to take a look at these numbers because this paints a picture. Today is September 4th of 2025. Palantir closed at $156.14. And as you can see, for the past year, this stock has been doing very well. When we look at the market cap, it is $368 billion. And then the average daily volume of the shares traded per day is 73 million shares per day, with a PE ratio of 518. That is insane. To give you an idea, the standard PE ratio, that's a healthy PE ratio, is when a stock trades in the 25 range. Now, in a bull market, you'll see a lot of the bigger companies will trade 30, 40, sometimes even 50 and 60 PE ratios. And here this company is trading at 518 times earnings. Let's take a look at some of the financials. When we look at Palantir on an annual basis from 2020 to 2024, the revenue, we are looking at a year over year of 28%. The operating expense is up 18% year over year, which makes sense with the kind of numbers they're doing. The net income has increased by 120%. The net profit margin has increased by 71%. And the earnings per share has increased by 64%. Now we are looking at the income statement on a quarterly basis. June of 2024, the revenue was $678 million. The net income was $134 million. We fast forward to June of 2025, the revenue is $1 billion. The net income is $326 million. We look at the revenue is up by 48%. The operating expense is up by 21%. The net income is up 143%. The net profit margin is up 64%. And the earnings per share is up 77%. These numbers look absolutely incredible. Now let's take a look at 2021, 1.5 billion was the total revenue, and the gross profit was 1.2 billion. The next year they did 1.9 billion, gross profit 1.4 billion. The next year 2.2 billion, gross profit 1.7 billion. 2024 they did 2.8 billion. The gross profit is 2.2, and the year to date is 3.4 billion, and the gross profit at 2.7 billion. Now these numbers are pretty spectacular, pretty substantial. This is pretty incredible. Now keep in mind, this company has only been trading for several years, and they've recently been added to the S&P 500. They will be invested by default in the S&P 500 and all the ETFs that represent the S&P 500. I put some links in the description of financial institutions that you can start your account, and you want to make sure that your financial house is in order before you start trading stocks. And what do I mean by that? The basics of that is you want a 6-month emergency fund. You want to have your cars paid off, your debts paid off, and you want to have your retirement accounts fully funded. Your 401ks, your Roth IRAs, you want them to be maxed out if possible. It's a good idea to incorporate technical analysis with fundamental analysis. Technical analysis gives you the facts of what has transpired, but it does it in charts, candlestick charting, moving averages. These are important key factors of when making a decision on what areas to buy into a stock. Technical analysis. The more you put in, the more you get out. You want to do your own due diligence. Now, what technical analysis does, it increases your percentage ratio of profitability. It's going to increase your percentage ratio of probability, possibilities, which ultimately returns into an increase of your profitability. Here we are looking at Palantir. This is a 20-year monthly chart. Now, Palantir has only been trading since 2020. This is when they started on the New York Stock Exchange. And then when we go to September, this is when they were added to the S&P 500. And as you can see, that has done very well for the stock by being added to the S&P 500. We're going to look at a weekly chart. This is where they started trading. They reached a peak and then sold off for 2 years to a low of 584. This essentially is the area where they were added to the S&P 500, and from $36 on up to $190. Almost 3 years, from $5 to $190. That just tells you the power of this company. Now, the stock market is currently extended. We are anticipating a 10 to 15% drawdown in the stock market. So all these stocks that are elevated and that are extended from their moving averages, you want to wait and you want to be patient. For more analysis like this, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate your support. The technology is incredible, and we're going to utilize this in the growth of this technological boom with AI, with our government, with hospitals, with financial institutions. This company has a lot of room to grow. This is a one-year chart. Each candle represents one day. For the 52-week low is $29.31, and then the 52-week high is $190. The white line is the 10-day moving average. The purple line is the 21-day moving average. The green line is the 50-day moving average, and the red line is the 200-day moving average. And typically when a stock is in a bullish phase, like it has been for the past year, it's going to ride this 10-day and this 21-day moving average, occasionally breaching it, touching the 50-day moving average. When we look at volume, we're going to zoom in a little bit closer here. Take a look at this volume right here of 220 million shares. The average daily volume is 73 million shares traded per day. See this line going across? This is our average volume. And when you see it breached with exponential volume like this or exponential volume like this, now you have to look at the candle to see how it responded with this type of volume. So initially, with candlestick charting, you do not need to know the intricacies of candlestick charting, but you do need to know the basics, because this stock gapped down and it sold off, but then the buyers, the bulls, came back in and pushed it all the way to the top of this candle. This long wick here represents a reversal and represents a lot of buyers coming into the stock. If we're looking at the positive aspect of this, the stock is currently in a consolidation period. It's trading right at the 10-day moving average. If you want to trade or scale into this stock, if your financial house is in order and you want to buy an individual stock, you can scale in at this point right here. But you have to understand that the market typically in the month of September is a down month. We are currently extended overall in the market. The market needs to pull back. So the areas that we want to buy into are going to be 157.04. We're currently trading at 156. You can buy into this area to put your stop in below this candle right here of 142 if you want to give it that much room. So when you're scaling into a stock, if you're looking to put $10,000 in, you want to scale in. So essentially right now, you can go in at a 50% position at 157.04 and put your stop in at 142.34. You could go a little bit below that, 141.34, give it a little bit of room. We will have a level of support at 128.51, a level of support at 142.34. Always remember that the information is time sensitive and changes minute by minute. If you'd like to stay informed on the latest, greatest stocks and more stock market analysis, subscribe to the channel and comment below what's on your mind. God bless and happy investing.